Sing us a song tonight. Where we're all in the mood for a melody. You are, aren't you? And you got us feeling all right. It's 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock on a Sunday. Regular crowd shuffles in. There's an old man sitting next to me, making love to his tonic and gin. He said, son, can you play me a memory? I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet, and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you got us feeling all right. I'm getting your feedback. Now John at the bar, he's a friend of mine. He gets me my drinks for free, and he's quick with a joke, or he'll light up your smoke. But there's some place that he'd rather be. He said, John, I believe this is killing me, as a smile ran away from his face. Oh, I know I could be a big movie star if I could get out of this place. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you got us feeling all right. Now Paul, he's a real estate novelist. Never had time for a wife, and he's talking with Davy, who's still in the Navy, and probably will be for life. And the waitress is practicing politics as the businessman slowly gets stoned. Well, they're sharing a drink they call loneliness, but it's better than drinking alone. La la la, la la la. La la la, la la la, la la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a minute. You are, aren't you? You got us feeling all right. Let me hear from you with your heart and your voices and everything else. That's a pretty good crowd for a Sunday.
It is.
I'm just delaying the moment.
It's all right, I've got all my hearts to say hello.
And the manager, well, she gives a half-hearted and yet, in so many other ways, a half-kidneyed One kidney. Would you listen to when I'm telling the jokes? Don't rereading when I'm telling the jokes. You're doing it with one kidney. And I do notice a lessening of the smiling since the kidney's gone.
No.
And yet,
No lessening
in an
of any
incredible
smiling.
way, I've got more smiles.
You're calmer, actually. Everyone's noticed that you're calmer.
Calmer.
And funnier, actually. It's all down to my kidney.
Yeah, can I say, this is a woman with a sense of humour bypass. Come on. What? I'm just saying.
How rude.
And the manager, she gives me a smile. A smile. A smile. A smile. A smile. Yeah, okay.
Get on with
Because she
it.
knows that it's me. She knows that it's me. They've been coming to see. I'm going to race her to forget about life for a while. And the piano sounds. Eat your heart out, Mark Edwards, like a carnival. The microphone, it smells. Oh, Mark, we do love you. Oh, Mark, you're such a great pig.
Can I just say, he's been practicing all week. All week he's been on the piano.
Yeah. Just being. And the microphone, it smells like a beer. And they sit at the bar and put bread in my jar and say, man, what are you doing here? Lie, 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 lie. Let's see you swinging side to side. Lie, 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 lie. Come on, McCready, want to see you move. And sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling alright. And as the piano dies away, once again, we welcome you to an evening JV live from the Steinway room with Sue. If you heard that, come a bit closer. Now, I'm just going to make a quick announcement to say a couple of things, well, loads of things. But first of all, that if you are having any problems with freezing, this is just in case you're wondering, this is not our fault here. We are hardwired. Rachel and the team have made sure that we are all up and running. So often that is a supply.
It's all fine tonight so far.
It's fine. Now, if you have problems with freezing, watch it on YouTube. You can't comment, but you might be able to have, if you have two devices, so an iPad or a computer and a smartphone, you can watch it on one, right? Have the volume down, and then watch YouTube, which is always more reliable, and it just keeps going.
Yeah.
So then
All
you
very
can watch the
stable at the
comments. Now,
moment.
we've noticed that people, we used to have about 1,400 to 1,500 comments, and because people are watching on different ways, you're not commenting as much. It's lovely to have your comments on there, and as an encouragement to you, okay, to comments, and Sue didn't know I'm going to do this, but what I'm going to do this week is I'm going to give an award of a free album, right, from the early years.
What?
Early years, Albie, I know, giving it away.
Giving it
I'm going to give away a
you
free album.
Should have checked with the manager first.
Yeah,
but
no,
that's fine.
I know,
It's
she's
okay.
the
I
head of
approve.
merchandise.
I approve
But
of this.
a free album
To
the
whom?
person who writes the funniest contribution tonight. Right? Now, obviously, McCready, that's not going to be used, so don't bother. You're just not funny. So, John Dick, try again. You're not getting a free album, buddy. Because, let's be honest, your puns just don't work anymore. You've run out of puns. You have. Anybody else, write in something funny, make a comment in the evening. I'll scour it tonight.
Andy Hatvarney has said, if you experience any freezing, then put a jumper on.
No, that's not funny enough, Andy. Now, Andy's coming to stay with us on Wednesday, and if you're going to give puns like that, then you need to work harder.
I know
All right?
Stuart. He's just plain rude.
What? Stuart, I'm just saying, Stu. Work hard on and if I find that there are 2, we will give 2 albums away. 2 from the early years selection, all right?
Okay.
You can't unless and we'll write to you and find out whether you've got them, and we will give them away to you as free gifts. We're really thrilled to be here tonight with you, and tonight we decided rather than go for guests, I wanted to have an evening, which was what I've called a JV and Suvi community evening. All right. And now, community. What does community mean? It means everybody. Can I just stress once again, as we do every week, and if we don't do it every week, I apologise. This community is a community of faith and no faith. You do not have to be, and whatever people may say, Christian to belong here. You can be anything you like. We are a totally inclusive group. I'd rather not have practicing murderers or anybody like that on here. Or if you do, then hold your hand up and we'll get the police straight to your door. But apart from that, we want you to feel part of this community. Now, it often does happen. We never apologise for it. I often sing lots of Christian songs and people request lots of them because there are a lot of Christian people in the community. But we genuinely and 100% welcome you from whatever group, background, faith you have. You come into this room, you are one of us and one of the community.
Just come on in, you're welcome.
You're welcome, all right? That's the door is open. And so, actually, now, I'm going to do some other news, but I'm just going to sing a song for you. Now, this one is in celebration. Now, what was the name of the girl who won yesterday? Tennis.
Emma Raducanu.
Sorry, what's her name?
Emma Raducanu.
Raducanu. Now, I love this. We were in a hotel last night in Stoke, and I'll tell you more about that in a minute. But last night, Sue was so tired, she went to sleep in the Premier Inn, and my bed creaked and wobbled, and she had a separate bed, and it was fine. So mine creaked and wobbled, and I watched this on Prime, and watched her win in 2 straight sets, which was quite unbelievable. And it was lovely.
I suspect that quite a few people are heading off to bed early tonight because they stayed up and watched it.
Yeah, well, you're going to watch me until the end, okay? We're on till 12 o'clock tonight, just to punish you. What I'm going to say. So, New York. Now, it's up to you, New York, New York. Da 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 bam. Not that one. Gareth Hill, I believe, requested this song. Is that correct, Sue?
Yes, he did. And it was a good idea, Gareth, because as we all know, yesterday was 20 years. How can it be 20 years since we all watched in horror at the planes flying into the Twin Towers and the other 2 planes going down? And
there was a documentary last night, and I was watching in between tennis. Okay. I was watching that, and the sheer horror of the moment, and the people just overtaken with total disbelief. And I just thought, actually, there's something on a day. On that 20th anniversary day, there was a sign. It was a beautiful thing where those 2 girls, when they won and lost, they gave a speech which could teach some older people how to win and how to lose, with grace and charm, dignity, with beyond her years, beyond both of their years, and they played a great game, and they came out 1-1 and 1 lost, and it was a beautiful thing.
They were both fantastic.
There they were in New York. Okay, and I just thought, what a fantastic thing. And we're remembering those people who went. Now, I remember New York because I went to do an opera there, and I was staying in Brooklyn, which is just across the bridge, and it's a series of islands. You have so I went in, and I had to go. One of the days off, I went into the North Tower, and I went up all to the very, very, very top. In the elevator, and it took a long time to get up there, and it was going at high speed, and we went up to, I can't even remember, somebody will tell me how many floors it was, 167 or something like that, 137 floors. And we got to the top, and I remember sending an email to Sue. Did you remember getting it?
I do remember getting it. You said you did a little video. And you said, I've got this amazing view. I'm up the top of the North Tower.
And I'm looking across to the South Tower from there. And I went. I think you could go out and look out, and it was a phenomenal thing. And I remember thinking, "Gosh, I wonder what would happen if something went wrong up here." That's what I thought. I remember thinking that. And when I saw them flying it devastated me because I thought, actually, for those people who went up there, for a day trip, went up there for a meal, went up there for work, went up there for any reason, and then met their horrendous end. And I just thought, the great people of New York, and they are a weird bunch, multicultural melting pot. And this song,
great suggestion, Gareth.
Gareth, it's a great. And now it's a hard one to sing and play, but let's give it a shot. From Billy Joel, my hero. I remember seeing him doing this live at Wembley, and he's a real New Yorker. No, and they always say, "How you doing?" When they meet you, you go. And when I was in the theatre, I met the stage crew, and they went. I said, "Hi, my name's Jonathan Vera," and they went, "Hi, how you doing, John? How you doing?" And that's what they do. It's New York, New York. They don't say New York. It's New York. Okay, just practice that. New York. Sue, let's hear you. Sue, could you pay attention?
I'm sorry, I'm just looking to see if they write anything funny.
No, I don't want you to do that. I want you to pay attention to me, not to them, not yet.
Okay, darling.
New York.
Okay.
Could you say?
New York.
No, you sound like you're from Bermondsey. What? Okay.
What?
Okay, here we go. Some folks like to get away, take a holiday from the neighborhood. Hop a flight to Miami Beach or to Hollywood. I'm taking a Greyhound on the Hudson River line. I'm in a New York state of mind. Seen all the movie stars in their fancy cars and their limousines. I've been high on the Rockies under the evergreens, but I know what I'm needing, and I don't want to waste more time. I'm in a New York state of mind. It was so easy living day by day, out of touch with the rhythm and blues. But now I need a little give and take. The New York Times, the Daily News, comes down to reality, and it's fine with me, 'cause I've let it slide. Don't care if it's Chinatown or up on Riverside. I don't have any reasons, I've left them all behind. I'm in a New York state of mind. It was so easy living day by day, out of touch with the rhythm and blues. But now I need a little give and take. and it's fine with me, 'cause I've let it slide. Don't care if it's Chinatown or up on Riverside. I don't have any reasons, 'cause I've left them all behind. I'm in a New York state of mind. I'm taking the Greyhound on the Hudson River line, 'cause I'm in a New York. Yes, I'm in a New York. I'm a New York state of mind. Oh, oh,
Lovely. Very nice, Mr. Vera.
Oh, that's Mr.
Very
Billy
nice.
Joel.
Yeah, Mr. Billy Joel. 2 from him. I just want to say, before we move on to the next song, a very well done to all those who have gone on the, was it the Thames Path walk this weekend. Lots of people that we knew were involved.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And particular big well done to James Slough. You just did so well. He had to stop at 63 miles, I think, but you still raised £1,200.
Unbelievable.
For New Hope Counselling. And well done you. And well done to our lovely cousin, Phil Marchbanks, who walked for kidney research. And you got to the end, mate. I'm just blown away.
Blown away.
But
Blown
thank you.
away by it.
Thank you for doing that. Everyone else who did it as well. Big well done. Amazing stuff. You're looking at your phone.
Yeah, I'm looking at my phone because I'm looking for a contact that somebody. There was a lady who contacted us yesterday. Found the message today. Do you remember what her name is?
I don't know who you're talking about.
The lady who gave us the money.
Oh, you mean Sandra?
Sandra,
the lady from Belfast.
from Belfast.
Yes.
There it is. Gareth Mulholland. That's Mulholland, who is going to put on we think a lovely concert for us.
Chester, hopefully.
Chester, in the probably just before Christmas. We're going to put on another gig here at the end of.
We've got a few shows coming up actually. One in Guildford that I'm going to organise on the 27th of November.
Put
so
this
those of
in
you
your
who
diary,
live near Guildford, at the moment I haven't organised quite how I'm going to do the tickets, but I will get there. But that's the 27th of November, and we've also got lots of other dates.
Now, the 27th of November was the concert we started talking about doing as the first in the series, and we wanted to do it some weeks ago. We couldn't get that together for the 16th of October. But we're going to put it...
27th of November, and lovely Claire is doing some amazing new posters for us, which we will reveal fantastic. At some point, but they are great, and we are going to be doing the Unlockdown sessions with Jonathan Vera live. So,
and I'll tell you a bit more about that. Little song here for Martin, actually, from...
Yeah, poor old Martin, you've been in hospital this week, but welcome out of hospital, and lovely Helen has asked for this song for you.
And she asked if I would... wear these. Got no chance of seeing the words now.
No.
I can't see them because they're wrong. I have to do that. As my children say, which is what we all do when we look at the phones. They say, that's what we do. Because old people can't see far away or close. There we go. And it goes, here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling,
it seems like years since we've been here. Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do.
Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right. Little darling, the smiles return to the faces.
It's been here.
Here comes the alright. Little darling, I feel that ice is slowly melting.
Little darling, it seems like years since it's been clear.
Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's alright. It's alright. Sun, 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 here it comes. Sun, 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 here it comes. Sun, 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 here it comes. Here comes the sun, dooby-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's alright. We weren't going to do that one, but you came in late. Now, I'm going to do a serious tune, and then we're going to have a little...
Hooky dook.
Well, it's a community evening, this one,
It
and
is.
we're going to introduce you to a
Lots
man
of
who's
chat,
been
lots
watching.
of fun.
And here it is now. This one was requested by John Bown. And I love this beautiful introduction by Mark, by Darren Beckett, and Arnie Sojji on double bass. This is probably one of my favourite tunes of all time. And to all those of you, seasons of mist and mellow fruitfulness, close bosom friend of the maturing sun, how can we conspire to load and bless the what's-his-names that round the thatch eaves run? The falling leaves drift by my window. The falling leaves are red and gold. I see your lips, the summer kisses, the sunburned hands I used to hold. Since you went away, the days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter's song. But I miss you most of all, my darling, you. When autumn leaves start to fall, since you went away, the days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter's song. But I miss you most of all, my darling, you. When autumn leaves start to fall. Mm-hmm. A sad song, and yet such a beautiful song. I hope you enjoyed that.
Beautiful. Everyone enjoyed that very much.
And
very
I sing that
smooth.
for Sylvia too. Now,
She
Sylvia
said,
Newman.
She said that's one of her favourites. She just commented.
Sylvia, can I
That
just
was for
thank
you.
Sylvia right now? Sylvia sent me a pile. This is one of the
Three piles.
3 bags of music, and I had the most pleasurable time. Not least of all, I wasn't going to do this. I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to just play it here. It's called "The Swan" by Sanson, and it's the one that goes.
Can I just finish that sentence for him? He said, what he was going to say was he had the most pleasurable time
Like
going
playing through the
it
music.
all. Thank
Playing
you.
through all the music, and I went through the Warsaw Concerto. And if anybody can tell me who wrote the Warsaw Concerto, I'll give you a tick. I'm not giving you a free album
Be
for that
very
one.
surprised, I
Right?
should.
But
Without looking it up.
And then I'm going to stop because I can't turn the page. If you look at the sheet music, look. This is how it's that old. Some of it going back to 1923.
You did have fun with it, didn't you?
Sorry, I had such fun with it. So Sylvia, and I've got all these wonderful scores that I'm now filing onto my shelf, and that will be used for my students. But it was a wonderful occasion just to play through. I was playing the Warsaw Concerto. Dun 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 dun. All that. I can't remember. It's good next door. But all of those beautiful pieces, and then songs from the 1930s and 40s, copies of, and not least of all, a signed program that she had got with Larry Adler, Cleo Lane, and Johnny Dankworth from a festival in Brighton.
Very special.
So we are going to try and find a way. If anybody's got any wisdom on this one, I've looked online to try and sell it to make some money for YGAF, and she's given this to say if we could make any money for YGAF, then we can do that. We should give a big shout out to YGAF as well tonight, because somebody, bless her heart, from Northern Ireland gave a substantial gift today to YGAF. Bless your heart, and you will be helping so many people. You've got a friend trust. You can give directly to the fund. You don't give to some people are given to us. But for tax reasons and for legal reasons, it's better that you give it, if you can, give it directly to them. Now, I think there's an account. You can find the account. You can give the account.
We'll get the information
for you. We'll get the information for you. If you'd like to do that, we're going to post it to you. I think Adrian was posting it to Claire today. So if she can find that, I don't know whether that's been received in an email. But you can pay it directly into the account. We're going to have, remember, Wife Gaff Day is the 25th, where you can do it beforehand. You don't have to do it then. But you can just contribute what you like. £5, £2, £1. Apparently, is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide.
I
No
would
escape
get practicing,
from reality. Open your eyes, look up to the skies and see. I'm just a poor boy. I have to learn this thing. It's so hard.
Keep practicing.
Yeah.
The money's still rolling in. I
All right.
still need a bit
£1.
more. I need a bit more. 100 people giving a pound.
Pound. That's all we want.
That's what we
Okay?
want. Or
Don't
you
give
can
£2,
pledge-
give a
I'll tell you
pound.
what, you can pledge the pound and just tack it on to if you give some other money rather than everyone paying in a pound. Just tell
Yeah.
me that you're going to add it to any other money that you're giving, and I will
Fantastic.
just tot it all up. And,
Now, we're just going to have a little moment where we're going to have a little break. Now, I've called it a community evening because I thought actually, we've got some great guests coming up, and now some of the time. Now, guys, just to warn you, now we cannot do this show now every week because we came down from Stoke this morning. We left the hotel at 5:30.
we'll tell you why we were up there in
a
later
minute.
on.
But we were up there in Stoke, and so we came back, and I think a lot of the time, if we've had a show that's gone on till 11 o'clock at night, I won't have the energy always to do a show. But we will. What we're going to do, and also the tech team. Rachel's back at work at the theatre, so it's sometimes that she's not available, so she can't do it. And Claire and Ben aren't available, or they're also working. And so, what we're going to try and do is do as many shows as we can, but we're going to give you as much notice as we can. We're planning them now, the ones that we can and can't do. Is that correct, Sue?
We are doing that, and we will give you plenty of notice. And the idea is that we've got a few little bits and pieces of tech that I can hopefully use to get going with the shows for when we can do it, but Rachel can't. So we will try and do as many for you as we possibly can. But we have got a few weeks coming up when we're going to be on holiday and that kind of thing. So,
and we are taking the holidays we can.
We will let you know.
However, we say to you, we want these shows to continue.
We do.
And we will do them sometimes every week, sometimes every other week. So if you've got a show, it's unlikely if we're up in the north of England that we can get back on time and with the energy involved to do that as well. A Friday, a Saturday and a Sunday. I don't have limitless energy, even though it looks like I do. And everybody's saying, "Oh, you're looking such a great colour." I said, "Don't be so racist." And no, it's lovely seeing people saying, "You've lost so much weight since last we saw you." I'm just trying to think. I must have been absolutely gross. That's all I can say. Because I looked at my protuberance, otherwise known as Sue's kidney, today in the mirror. It's horrific, friends. Can I just say that? It's almost as frightening as my eyes. Look at those eyes. Look at that. People used to say, ethnic minority eyes. Oh, right, sorry. Ethnic minority eyes. So they are. Look, okay. I got that from my great-great-grandmother, who was African. I give you those eyes.
Can we try and keep on track?
Can we keep on track? Right, now, moving on. The man that we've got tonight from the community who has been a loyal and wonderful guy to us and the community since we began, actually, I think more or less, we'll find out, is a man called Jerry Cowie. He's over near Croydon, in Croydon. We welcome Jerry Cowie to the show, who's going to have a few surprises for us. Jerry Cowie.
Can I take this off?
No, I'm sorry, you could be infectious.
Well,
Socially distanced.
I did choir today with this on. It was funny. Thank God for hydrophobic lenses.
Right. Did you do it? Did you sing with it on?
Yes.
But that's not necessary.
It varies from place to place.
Yeah, but it's not. I mean, it's interesting. I was talking to a friend who went to Hereford Cathedral, and of course they come in with it all on, and then as soon as they start singing, they take it off. So this guidance that each individual church, which seems to believe it has a level of medical expertise, to say, no, we have to sing with masks on. I have no idea who these people are, but they are. And if I ever have to sing with a mask on, I won't ever do it. That's never going to happen. So you sung this morning, though?
Yes, it's tricky, but it works.
Okay. All right. Well, I should come to your church and rip all the masks off for you. Yes, I'm just going to hold on, just turning you down a little bit. Jerry, welcome, and it's lovely to see. How long have you been with the show now?
Over a year. Maybe I came in a few months after you'd started.
Yeah, it must be something like June last year. Was that about right? Something like that. I remember starting to see your name, and you were very vocal and very you were very a great contributor. Let's call it that. And well, it was always lovely. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Jerry. We've got a few minutes, and we'll come on to why I asked you on in a second. But tell us about yourself, where you live, what you do, all that kind of thing.
Well, I live over in Croydon, where I've lived most of my life, and I basically spent most of my working life in a bank. Eventually
what did you do? What were you?
Everything. I was everything. I made my tea too well, so I did that for quite a long time. And then I went up a rung or two over the years until I got to level 28 in Canary Wharf. And that was about as high as I got, level 28 Canary Wharf.
Right, that sounds high to me.
It was when you had to walk down 28 floors as a fire marshal twice a year.
No, I can see you as a fire marshal, definitely. That's the guy I'd follow.
Yes.
Down any staircase. But you've also you're a musician. Tell us about your musical side.
Well, I play a couple of instruments. I played a flute, but I only got as far as grade 4. And my teacher from 40 years ago is still teaching. And I just basically ended up playing in church, and it seemed to work well for me there. And I didn't have to buy a new one, not a very good new one. A friend of mine noticed I was eyeing his guitar up and decided one day to take me out to find a guitar, which we did. But I don't play that very much. I've got a couple of, I'm thinking of getting a piccolo. I've got the flute, of course, which I
Great.
play along with, unseen every week. You can see it behind me on the shelf, on the
Yes.
piano,
Yeah,
actually.
it's lovely.
And and of course I sing. I sing as much as I can, mainly again in church. But it's an opportunity to get the old vocal cords and the lungs open. And I've got quite a baritone voice, so I'm always listening to
You
your
certainly
talk.
have.
I'm
You
always
certainly
your
have, yeah.
stuff. Yeah. So I'm looking to sing one or two of your bits, as you know.
And yes, and every time Sue reminded me on the way down from Stoke, she said, "You do know that Jerry is still waiting for you to do Take My Hand, na, na, da, dee, 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 dee." And you know, every time I sit down to do it, I think, "Oh, I must get some manuscript paper. I think Jerry needs it." Now that's been over a year since you asked me to do that. I'm such a terrible person, and I apologise publicly. But one day it's going to happen. It is going to happen, and you're going to sing it. And I might even get you to come and sing with my choir for if you're available. You probably do your own Christmas carol service on the 19th.
I used to sing that, say that as a boy every morning. With the little housekeeper at my church used to kneel down and say that prayer, and it always stuck in my head. And it wasn't until I heard you sing it that I thought, "Wow, that is a version I've never heard." And I just,
It was it is a nice. It was one of those I accidentally wrote on a piano, a worn old piano somewhere else when we were on holiday. It's a lovely version.
Well,
anyway,
I'm glad
enough about
me.
yeah, enough about me. So, Jerry, one of the things that you're known for doing is writing songs, parodies on things, and you send them to me, and some of them are so clever. And I think you to talk of the parody, the politics of the day, or you're very much a kind of in the Gilbert and Sullivan tradition.
Funnily enough, yes. Well, I actually did. I once took part in a play called Tarantara, which is all about Gilbert Sullivan. I played one of the lead roles, so I mean, I learned a lot there.
Wow.
So I've got a lot of that in my head, yeah.
In your head, yeah. Well, it's a very similar stuff. I used to do a lot of them when I did Gilbert and Sullivan back in the day. But what I got you on for, because I think we need a bit of a laugh, and I thought, actually, let's get somebody who can write a little bit of a limerick. You wrote a limerick, and you said that you would write a limerick for Wygas. So if somebody give them a subject, I think that was it, about themselves, and you would write them a limerick and charge them a little bit of money for it.
Yeah, all I want is a few facts, a few funny things. Email me or PM me, and I'll knock something up within a day or so, or a few hours, who knows.
All right. So you sent me a few.
I did.
Some of them are not award-winning yet, Jerry, but some of them are not bad. Okay, so I'm gonna hand over to you.
All right.
Give us a few lyrics. Okay, make us laugh.
Put the right hat on. Yes.
Oh no!
Got to put the right hat on.
Okay.
If you're going to do something like this, put the right hat on.
Okay, the hat's important. Okay, right, Jerry, ladies and gentlemen, all the way to the front. Big round of applause for Jerry Cowie and his limerick machine. Hey, whoa, waha! Right, go off you go.
JV asked if I might have the time to compose the odd limerick rhyme. Not an extravaganza about Custer's last stanza, just a few verses as paradigm. So here's a selection for you, every one of them totally new. If you'd like one bespoke, ye community folk, give to YGF Trust, and I'll do. If your home needs renovating, then Jonathan, you shouldn't ring. As Sue will attest, JV isn't the best DIYer, but boy can he sing. Every Sunday night so merrily, JV sings, "They have come to see me." But despite all his waffle, he contains Susan's offal. So it's both of them on our TV. Lockdown sessions, recordings by post, have been late for one person the most. I shan't mention his name, lest his postman feel shame, for who late delivery would boast. JV, world-renowned opera star, sang with Dame Kitty Te Kanawa, who will no longer roam, as she's now going home to New Zealand away very far. In Pointy Stick's corner, we see so much fine creativity. Their days are all full due to talents with wool, and most often it's for charity.
Good.
JV
Very good.
walked a tightrope in life, referring to Sue, his first wife. Though I hear it on rumour, it's just his sense of humour, as he dare not say trouble and strife. In his mind, Sir Hat Varney goes far. On his exercise bike, not by car. He's been wheeling nowhere to raise money to share, helping others wherever they are.
Very good.
Have you read JV's Finding My Voice? If you have, then JV will rejoice. And the next book he wrote, on a similar note, will enrich your own literary choice. Sunday nights used to be rather lame. Recently, they've not been quite the same. Our JV and Sue and a super tech crew keep us happy, and COVID's to blame. Sometimes well-known people we meet, and it's like they live on our own street. There's a great atmosphere when on screen they appear, and their friendliness is such a treat. JV's fan base, faithful attend weekly shows and 2 happy hours spend with joyful expressions on CD lockdown sessions. They all joined in You Got a Friend. JV has such incredible eyes, which display horror through to surprise. Just one stare, they say, can ensure you obey when he uses them to hypnotize. This is the last one for tonight, as my mind has switched off like a light. Yes, that's it from me. There's more to hear and see in the Steinway room, Sue and JV. I thank you.
Yay! Round of applause for the man. Come on, bring in those hearts and those voices. One has to say, Jerry, you do make me. I mean, I think awful has to be the word, the best rhyming scheme.
Well. That's gone down very well.
What did it rhyme with? Awful and
waffle.
waffle.
Yeah,
do you have a little rhyming scheme?
There aren't
Absolutely
many
fantastic.
alternatives. You have to think them up and put them in the right place.
They're just brilliant, Jerry. Everyone's loved that very, very much.
It's a great. Listen, I heartily recommend. It's a great way, and I think what will be a great thing to have a little limerick about you, about somebody that you love. Send Jerry. He'll do it for a contribution to YGAF.
Just think you can put it in someone's birthday card coming up. What a lovely gift.
And you can lie and say it was you that wrote it. You know, it's that. Jerry, listen, it's always a pleasure having you on the show.
Brilliant.
You read so brilliantly for us at Christmas last, and I think
Thank you.
Who knows about Christmas this year? We're going to see what we can do, but it's lovely having you on. Love to Croydon, and keep following, and thank you for being a consistent friend, writing to me and asking how I am and how Sue is. That means more. You said there was your priest said a mass for us. I just want you to know that all the things that you send us, all of those things, they mean such a lot. When you sent us the card, you sent us, the priest sent the card, it meant a whole lot to us, okay? And we welcome people from so many different traditions, Christian traditions and others, as we said before, but we welcome you, and we're friends made for life, I think, here.
Thanks for having me in. And
it's such
I discovered you by mistake on a CD from Songs of Praise years ago, and that was then I started looking out for you, and there you are, down in your community.
It's such a lovely circle, isn't it, of people, and that's what we wanted to celebrate tonight. About that. Bless you. I'm gonna carry on, do another few songs, and thank you, Jerry. Speak to you soon.
Yes.
Bye bye now. Bye bye.
Bye.
Love that. Now, there's a I Stand Amazed. I'd like to do. Can we try, Rachel? Can we do I Stand Amazed in the Presence for? And who's this for, Sue?
This is for Rachel and Trevor Eves. You have been married 45 years, which makes our 39 look piddling. So congratulations and happy anniversary for 45 years.
And this is from the album Hymns.
I don't know whether you should have I Stand Amazed for 45 years.
But no, that's right. I'm slightly surprised, I think it might be, but I Stand Amazed in the Presence of Jesus Nazarene. It's a version I recorded back in 3-4 years ago now with Mark Edwards and the team. And this was on Hymns Project 1. If you would like to get these, I can't recommend these Hymns Project albums enough. I listened to it the other day, Hymns Project 2, and it just blew me away. It's such wonderful arrangements that we spent so much time on. This one, I stand amazed. Here it goes. I stand amazed in the presence of Jesus the Nazarene. I wonder how he could love me, a sinner condemned, unclean. How marvelous, how wonderful, and my song shall ever be. How marvelous, how wonderful is my Savior's love for me. For me it was in the garden. He prayed, not my will, but thine. He had no tears for his own grief, but sweat drops blood for mine. How marvelous, how wonderful, and my song shall ever be. How marvelous, how wonderful is my Savior's love for me. He took my sins and my sorrows, he made them his very own. He bore the burden to Calvary and suffered and died alone. Marvelous, how wonderful, and my song shall ever be. How marvelous, how wonderful is my Savior's love for me. When with the ransom in glory his face I at last shall see, 'twill be my joy through the ages to sing of his love, to sing of his love, to sing of his love for me. Sing it with me. Singing, how marvelous, how wonderful
shall ever be. How marvelous, how wonderful is my Savior's love for me.
Wow, that was beautiful, and lots of people were enjoying that one and joining in, apparently. Beautiful song, giving them Mark and JV treatment.
Yeah, it is.
Wonderful.
And that one, Mark came up with that idea. Lovely idea. I hope you all enjoyed seeing Mark last week.
They did.
And coming on. We're going to be recording. This is another date for your diary. Loads of dates for your diary. The 26th. And 20. When's the 20? When are we doing the next one? We're not doing a show next week.
No.
And so the following week will be what? That's the 20...
Don't ask me things like that. Brain doesn't work.
Right. So the following Sunday will be the 12th now, and it's the 19th
of September. Thank you, Rachel.
26th of September, and we're having Sue Rinaldi as our special guest to come in with a guitar to sing some lovely songs. If you remember, those of you who watched before, Sue's a lovely gospel singer and singer-songwriter. She helped write with me on Hymns Project 2, that beautiful song, Just a Closer Walk with Thee, that we often do, and that we will do that together again. And she's coming in. But also, Matthew's going to come in, and we're going to just launch to just get the crowdfunding to just make sure, basically, you buy your album. That you're going to be asked to buy an album. It's going to be £15. Or if you want to be part of the choir, it's going to be a
bit more than that.
A bit more than that. We're determining what the fee is, whatever it was, and then again, if you want a dedication on the album. Okay. Now, again, a bit more. But what we're going to do is we're going to get what we can get. Okay. But mainly, what we want you to do is just buy the album. And once you've bought the album, we do whatever we've raised. As we said before, Sue and I will not be taking any money from this that we raise. We only put it into musicians, the studio, to duplication, to design, all of those things that cost money. We didn't do it for the other two, we're not doing it now, and we're not touching, literally, not for a stamp, to make sure that everything is above board and proprietors. And so, that's what we'll be doing. Matt will be coming in and launching that, just to get excited along the way, so that you can get that album. We'll be recording on the 29th of September, locally here in a studio here with Weeks Studio, which is going to be great. And we're going to do Christmas songs, some beautiful songs, some secular songs, some Christian songs, lots of, like the other Christmas album. And then you'll be able to have 2 Christmas albums together, and it will be Lockdown Sessions 3. Okay, so the trilogy of the lockdown sessions. That will be the last, I think, of the lockdown sessions, unless you want 4, 5, 6, and 8. Then we'll jump straight to 12. Be? Anyway, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to do one song, which is, I would like to do How Great Thou Art for David Clegg.
It's his birthday on Wednesday, so happy birthday, David, for Wednesday. Thank you, Erica, for giving us the heads up on that.
Great great thought, how great thought, when through the woods and forest glades I wander and hear the birds sing sweet in the trees. When I look down from lofty mountain grandeur and hear the brook and feel the gentle breeze, then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. And sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. And when I think that God his Son not sparing sent him to die, I scarce can take it in, that on the cross my burden gladly bearing, he bled and died to take away my sin. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. When Christ shall come with shout of acclamation and take me home, what joy shall fill my heart? Then shall I bow in humble adoration and there proclaim, my God, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art.
Wow, that was awesome. Absolutely awesome. And
We sung that yesterday.
we did, yes. We were at a memorial service for a very dear friend called Bernard yesterday. And Bernard sadly died January 2020. And we were unable to do the memorial service because of lockdown and so on. So poor Sheila, we've had to postpone Bernard's memorial service again and again. And we weren't sure that we would be well enough to go for the 11th of September, but we were. And I can tell you, I got really emotional. There was something about being in a big room with lots of people and singing for the first time with lots of people and just watching Jonathan. up the front singing. I've got a real lump in my throat, I have to say, but then my kidney was doing really well.
There it comes. There it was. There she was. She was going so well. It was going
so
really well. And then suddenly...
It was very moving, and it was a very special occasion. And
it was. And let me tell you, we're going to introduce our second guest in a second now. There's so many people. Can I just say, I'm thinking about it because I have to say, Sam Williams, you wanted a song for your
dad,
Tony. And it was Go Rest High. You wanted that song.
Ah, that's where Go Rest High came from.
And that's why you didn't put it in the list.
Okay.
So what we'll do is I'll do it afterwards, and we'll cram in loads of songs at the end. We won't do all of them. We won't do everything, but we'll do bits of each one of them, so I can get loads of dedications in. So it's a real community evening, because we won't have the time on the 26th, but we're a packed show with, who is it? Sue Rinaldi coming in. And we've got Steve Lake coming in. We've got Bryn Howarth coming in, the great singer-songwriter, and Steve is the musician. Publisher and everything else. A great guy. He's going to come in. He's going to saw Sue in half, and it's going to be great. It's going to get the other kidney that's left.
That's right.
Anyway, so many things. So Sam, we're going to sing that after we've done this interview. But I just wanted to say about yesterday. So Sheila Boss and Penny, I hope you're watching now.
Yeah.
Because it was profound.
It was a remarkable day for a remarkable man, actually. We'd met Bernard. He was organising a show that we did up in Alsager. So we met probably about 8 years ago, and it was like instantly we felt we knew him. Yeah. We'd known him for years, and also you, Sheila. We had a lovely supper, eating with you and chatting with you before the show, and you were the curate at the church. And the more we chatted, the more we found out that actually you had changed from being a minister in a URC to deciding that you'd also give the Anglican Church the benefit of your time. So you became a curate. And so it was lovely to get to know Bernard, wasn't it?
And Bernard, the man, as you saw, it was a very learned audience, professors and lecturers and senior lecturers, and me giving a tribute. And I realised I had to say something that meant something, because the gathered crew were fantastic. It must have been 200 people there if there was...
something like that. And people were sharing what a great teacher he'd been, what a great professor he'd been.
And a great friend.
Academic. There was just all, as often happens at a memorial, lots of different facets of the same person. And over the time, you built up this amazing 3D idea of who Bernard was.
But what it taught me, and I think Bernard more than anything, and I said it on the thing, he taught me a little bit of what it was to be a man, to be gracious. Do you know, most of the things that I found out, I didn't know. He was a hugely published author, a world expert in his field. You would never have known that. That was the man who hugged me the first time he met me. And he was just so thrilled. He was the man who he had a big white beard, big white hair, and he was the man who taught me that first time. He said about the 3 stages of man. You believe in Father Christmas, you don't believe in Father Christmas, and you are Father Christmas. And that was Bernard. But he was a great guy, and it taught me a little bit about, I often go around telling people what I've done, what I've achieved. And this is a thing within the theatre world. But he said nothing. And what he was most important to him was people. And may God help us all, actually, to realise that what this community is about, and I wanted to talk about just this, but what this community is about more than anything was about the spirit of what Bernard was, which was concerned mainly about people that he lived out the gospel with people who were atheists, he didn't care who they were, he just lived it out with them. He was totally inclusive, and he just totally wrapped his arms around people, very much like we're trying to do with YGAF over this time. I just wanted to say that to Sheila, and I hope, Sheila, it gives you a sense of closure. This is one of the worst things about this time of pandemic, was not being able to close things. It's just leaving things open. Last night, yesterday was a closure of sorts. And I pray that God will be with you during these difficult days ahead without him. But that yesterday was a milestone. I would sing, but I think we need to get on.
We do. She's waiting patiently, is our Karen.
Sue, do you want to introduce her? I would like you to do this.
We have here our wonderful friend, Karen Bate, and you all know Karen. Karen is a great person on the Facebook community, the JV community, and she's been very present, and she's just been absolutely fantastic. And we are delighted that we have Karen here for us to talk to. And Karen, how are you doing? Oh,
You?
right, okay. Yes, there she is. And I have my own box. I'm so excited. I've got my own box on the screen instead of right up in the top of the corner. So, Karen, my dear, I know that you are a tad frustrated at the moment. What's happening with you?
I'm in Facebook jail.
What have you
Sounds
done?
like a privilege to me.
I lied about my age.
Your sins will find you out.
I keep getting these adverts for women over 60, and I thought, I'm going to stop that. So I changed my date of birth to 2021. They said, are you sure? And I said, yeah. And they disabled my account. So I'm waiting for them to check the photograph I sent of my driving license, so they'll let me out. And
Oh no! So basically, how are you watching the show tonight?
We've got it on YouTube.
Right.
On TV, but it means
Okay.
I can't comment. I
No.
don't know who's being funny, who's being serious. I don't know whether people like Jerry's limericks. I don't know anything. It's horrible.
You feel so excluded, don't you, Karen?
Yes.
And you want to be in the know. You and Heather need to be in the know.
Yeah. We need to know what's going on.
Karen, you have been a real star on Facebook. You've been a real presence, and you've just kept everyone informed. When we were in hospital, you were that conduit, and you were just fantastic, giving people just enough. You were organising prayer meetings, organising times when people could be thinking positively about how we were and that kind of thing. So thank you for that, because that was just awesome.
Big
Absolutely
thanks.
awesome. So we know you as Karen on Facebook. We know you as the carer of lovely Heather. Hello, Heather.
Hi, Heather.
She said hello.
Oh, good. But Karen, you had a life before you were Heather's carer. So what were you in your life before caring for Heather?
I was an alcoholic. That was until I was 16.
Right.
And then I became a Christian at 16, and God healed me of the alcohol addiction.
Wow.
And I was with the Hells Angels, and then I was in the police force for 10 years.
That's an extraordinary move. From
And
being
you-
an alcoholic, Hells Angels, the police force.
And you did say
That's
you
quite a
you started a policeman song. You wanted and the only one we could think of was no, let's not go any further. That was it. All right, that's all I'm doing.
It's, and then about 30 years ago, I moved to London, which is when I met the lovely Heather, and you just left the church that I went to.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard about this legend that is Jonathan Vera.
Sue Vera. Oh no.
And then we came to see you about 3 years ago, I think it was.
Yeah.
And you've stalked us ever since.
I have. In fact,
And we,
one of them, you threatened me in public. You said you're going to tell the police about me.
Little knowing. Yeah, she was a police
Yeah,
person.
you're going to arrest me yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've had a mixed and interesting life that brought me to this place, I think.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And so how was it? How many years were you in the police force?
10.
10. So how was it being in the police force?
It was interesting because it was in the 80s. So the first thing that I had to do was find a metal dustbin lid, because it was the height of the riot.
The riots.
Yeah.
And we didn't have shields, we didn't have epaulets that were sprayed with fire retardants. We were just sent out in these little police cars and told to get on with it in Wolverhampton. And trust me, there was a lot of nasty stuff going on in Wolverhampton. if you're with a group of people, and this expression comes up a lot at the moment, the echo chamber, you end up thinking like the people you are surrounded by.
Right.
And that happened. And so people of colour became scary.
Yeah.
Because I'd had friends at school, but they were different.
Yeah.
Somehow. And the people I met on the streets, the people throwing bottles with petrol in with a burning rag into my police car, and I got soaked with petrol. Thankfully, the rag fell outside. It was okay. That's, those people, I hated them.
Yeah.
They were smashing things and breaking things. But what I didn't understand was why they were compelled to do that.
Yeah.
I didn't understand what drove people, particularly of colour, and particularly poorer people who've been lumped together on these horrible estates. I just had no concept of why they were indignant. And that started something in me that there's a passage in the Bible where Jesus goes into the temple and he sees that the money lenders and the people selling things, and he just turns the tables over. He gets really angry. And I always struggled with that because I thought, well, that's not very good, is it? That's a bit sinful, isn't it? Because I can imagine him using colourful words, probably, because he was cross. But actually what I failed to understand was the reason he did it. The shortchanging, the sort of sleight of hand backhanders and that sort of thing that he would have known, and people, when they were reading that story, they would have known what that was about. Whereas to us, it's, a privileged dude going in and sort of turning the tables over. You can't do that in my house, sort of thing, And it's all about context. It's all about understanding what's really going on. So I've been on a journey of trying to understand what's really, really going on behind anything.
What do you, and can I ask a question? What do you think's going on, Karen? Because what I get from you, and I get from you sometimes is that frustration in not always understanding people's attitudes and where things are. What do you think's going on?
I think we are all a tiny bit scared, a tiny bit privileged, a tiny bit angry when people don't agree with us. And particularly in the church, a whole lot of isolated and separate from the real world. Yes. We're not part of what's really happening. We're sort of, you mentioned Emma and Layla, the two tennis girls yesterday. It was fantastic. Yeah. And we watched it. We stayed up and watched it. So I'm going to bed in 2 minutes. We watched that, and their speeches were given from a place of privilege. Yeah. Both of them.
Yeah.
And, there was that sympathy from Layla about New York and what had happened 20 years before. But I remember watching the towers getting hit because we had a company based there, and they phoned me and said, the building's on fire. We don't know what to do. And she just hit the first number on her dial, and she was just a PA at the finance companies. I was sitting at my desk. I'd heard something on the news, and I looked, and she was in the building. Wow. And it was one of the big finance companies that are based in this country that we work for, and she just didn't know who else to call. The line was cut, and I don't know. I mean, she didn't come out of it alive, so I don't know quite what happened. But for me, the horror of that was strangely affected yesterday because it was 20 years. And both of those girls, neither of them were alive when it happened.
No.
And yet they were there on this huge stage, and everything in me wanted to say, folks, nearly 3,000 people died.
Yeah.
And what we did was, we then went to war. And it's like, is that where we should go from that? And I think sometimes in the church, and I think Christians are about 50 years behind
Often,
the reality of where the world is and the pain and difficulty the world's going through. And I think sometimes we just need to...
Well, Graham Kendrick always used to say to me, he was travelling across the country, and he'd say, I managed to drag this particular church kicking and screaming into the 1970s, and that was often the case. They are way behind. They won't address things as they happen. Often, something terrible happens in the world, like Diana, and where a church should immediately respond, it kind of goes, we'll carry on with our offices. We'll just carry on. We won't be affected by it. We won't talk about it, as though it hasn't happened.
Yeah.
And I just think, what are you doing? That people are, the world out there is in ferment, and you just say, well, we provide a place of solace, so we don't talk about it, or we don't raise it, or we don't want to be too controversial, or we don't want to be this and we don't want to be that. I mean, I do get that frustration. I do really understand it.
But the problem in that is we don't even provide solace to everyone.
No.
Oh.
Sorry.
Someone ringing you to tell you off.
It's Facebook saying you're joined.
The thing is that, what would Jesus have done? How would he have reacted?
Yeah.
The Ten Commandments, they start off by love the Lord your God. And that's huge.
Yes.
That's
the big one.
It is. We just need to not say, stop what you're doing. Stop that. I see that sin. Stop doing that. And then you come to church.
Yeah.
Jesus was out there and he was with the people saying, I love you. And they said, yeah, but, like, God, I'm blind, or I'm a sinner, or...
I'm an adulterer. Yeah.
I'm a tax collector.
Yeah. Jesus knew that.
Yeah.
He didn't care. And the thing that sparked this for me is there's a book called Inspired by Rachel Held Evans, and she tells the story, she retells stories, they're in the Bible, and she told the story of the Samaritan woman. And I'd always heard, and I don't know whether somebody's actually said this to me, but I thought that Samaritan woman was a prostitute. Because she came in the middle of the day, she was full of guilt and shame. She had had 4 husbands, and the man she was living with now wasn't a husband. So I assumed she was a town prostitute. Mm-hmm. But even though I know that the cultural behaviour of the time was, you marry a man, if he dies, the brother steps up.
Yeah.
So you marry the brother. That brother dies, you marry the next one.
So it goes on. Yeah.
So she was probably living with her mother and father-in-law. The man she was waiting for to marry was probably too young to marry. So the guilt and shame she felt was not because she was a prostitute sleeping with every Tom, Dick or Harry or whatever. It was because she felt like she was cursed. And it was an inward thing. It was, I can't go to the well with these other women because they think there's something wrong with me because all my husbands have died. And I've been reading it as she's a prostitute. But
that's extraordinary, Karen, because that's really saying what she was saying at the beginning, which is it's context and it's understanding that person's story. And we've become very aware of this, haven't we, JV, that actually everyone has a story to tell. And it's about understanding that story before you make judgments about them, before you, as you say, tell them they've got to change or they're not acceptable.
Clean up your act before you come in here. That's what we tell people. And yet that's not, that has to be the wrong message. It has to be the wrong message. You don't get clean and then you come in. You come in as you are, without having had a shower, with dirty clothes, and you're given. The whole culture of the church should be that you're given preeminence. The best seat in the house, says James in the Bible. The best seat, not the worst, but the best. Bring them to the front. Give them a cup of coffee, some soup. One of the worst things that ever happened was in a particular church we were in. We were told that this particular guy had left, and we found him again. He said he'd come in fact, it was our church, and somebody at the back of the church, one of the sidesmen, had said to him, "You might find that you're more happy down at the Methodist church down the road." He smelt, he was a man of the road, and he left, broken-hearted, didn't ever come back to the church, because he was told that he'd probably feel more happy going down the road, not here, because this is the middle-class church. We don't want all that. We don't want the smell. We don't want the this. We don't want that. I hear what you're saying. We must.
Yes, we must
wind up. But I get the frustrations that you're feeling. I'm so glad that you shared it. And it's this inclusive thing. Could you just wrap up for us and then we're going to sing a song.
Okay. When I was a kid, I lived across the road from a little Brethren chapel, and I used to go across there, and I was welcomed. They loved me. I'm convinced they prayed me into the kingdom. And as I got a bit older, I used to take my Hells Angels boyfriends in with me. When we were both drunk, I was never once turned away. They were never, ever sneery or anything. They would sit with us and explain what was happening, because it's a Brethren church.
Yeah. And
they prayed me into the kingdom. And I am so grateful for their lack of judgmental condemnation that in other churches may have turned me away. A sinner saved by grace.
Yeah.
You know, how marvellous, how wonderful, and my song will ever be. And it's just the fact that Jesus found me, but because other people were prepared to love me, irrespective of what I looked like, what I smelled like, or how I behaved. And we need to do better, folks.
Well, thank you, Karen. You've been an inspiration, as you usually are, but thank you so much, because you made us think, and we will never look at you the same again. We've all got the picture of you in your Hell's Angel outfit. Love you, Karen. Take care.
The words that she goes, I'm just a sinner, saved by grace. When I stood condemned to death, he took my place. Now I know that living freedom, and he's not a step I take. I'm just a sinner. But I can't remember I'm just a sinner, saved by grace. Can we have Go Rest High, please, Rachel? This one is for Tony Williams.
It is.
And Sue, we'll give it a shot. Give it energy. Let's go for it.
Energy. We'll see what we can do. I know Karen enjoyed this one the other day as well. She's a real country girl.
There's a bit of country from the album. What's it called? It Is Well. Recorded in Nashville, Tennessee. I know your life on earth was trouble, and only you could know the pain. You weren't afraid to face the devil. You were no stranger to the rain. So go rest high on that mountain. Son, your work on earth is done. Go to heaven shouting love for the Father and the Son. Oh, how we cried
the day you left us, gathered round your age to grieve. I wish I could see the angels' faces when they hear your sweet voice sing. Sing it me now. So go rest high on that mountain, son, your work on earth is done. Go to heaven a shouting, love for the Father and the Son. Oh, how we cried the day you left us, gathered round your grave to grieve. I wish I could see the angel faces when they hear your sweet voice sing. So go rest high on that mountain, son, your work on earth is done. Go to heaven and shout, love for the Father and the Son. Love for the Father and the Son. When you're down and troubled and you need some love and care, and nothing is going right, close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You've got a friend. When the sky above you grows dark and full of clouds, that old north wind begins to blow. Close your eyes and think of me, and call my name out loud, and soon I'll be knocking at your door. Everybody in the community, come on, the community choir. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running, running, running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You've got a friend, oh darling. You've got a friend, oh my darling. You've got a friend. You've got a friend. You've got a
friend. And they were all joining in.
Well, that's going to be the
along.
choir. I hope all of you are going to join
Yes.
us. All those people that joined us before will join us again.
Yes, well, lots of people have
and-
already said that they weren't able to join us the first time round, but they will the second
And it's
time
going to be,
round.
the song will be, go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Mary's baby is not just an ordinary baby. Tell him the Savior is born. It's after a version by Gregory Porter. And we're going to be doing that one. It's very funky. You're going to enjoy singing. It's going to be lots
yes,
of fun.
it's gonna be
We'll record
great
that and send it to you
fun.
very soon because we've got to get it out on the road and there. Now, can I have, please, can I have the song for Trish Lang and Rachel, The Oceans. Can we try Oceans? Now, I've never done this with the backing track, and I wanted to do it with the Oceans from the original It Is Well. And let's have a go. This is for Trish. Was it only Trish? I think there was somebody else who wanted it. Right, you forgot. Right, somebody else. If you requested this song, please. No, that's all right. You call me out upon the waters, the great unknown, where feet may fail. Oh, stop! Oh. Stop. My fault. Let's try it one more time.
What happened there?
I don't know. Something went off.
Oh.
Try it again.
Hey,
Sorry,
just do it
Rachel.
from the piano.
No, I quite like.
Okay.
I want the. I've done the backing
good.
track. Right, try it one more time, Rachel. There we go. Technical hitches, eh? But this is the song Peter Walking Out on the Water. It's a lovely song. I really love this. You call me out upon the waters, the great unknown, where feet may fail. And there I find you in the mystery, in oceans deep, my faith will stand. And I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans arise, my soul will rest in your embrace, for I am yours and you are mine. Ooh. Your grace abounds in deepest waters. Your sovereign hand will be my guide. Where feet may fail and fear surrounds me,
You've never failed, and you won't start now. And I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans arise, my soul will rest in your embrace, for I am yours and you are mine. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you will call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you will call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. And I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans arise, my soul will rest in your embrace, and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans arise, my soul will rest in your embrace, for I am yours, you are mine. I'm yours and you are mine. I'm yours and you are mine. I'm yours and you are mine. That's interesting. I watched a YouTube video talking about why a particular church in America will never sing a song by this particular group. And I just thought this is very short-sighted. As usual, they take an extreme position on everything. People take, I'll always do this and I'll never do that. And
throwing the baby out with
it's
the
just
bathwater,
throwing the baby with the bath. If the song is good and I love this bit. Your grace abounds in deepest waters. Your sovereign hand will be my guide. Where feet may fail and fear surrounds me, you never failed and you won't start now. Why couldn't you sing that? What's wrong with that? Tell me, Mr. Preacher Man, why couldn't you sing that? You can, and you will, and I will. Come and challenge me, baby. Now, I'm going to say a couple of bits there's one for Rita. Now, Rita Leyland has been another beautiful, loyal member of this
Rita, you've been
ministry.
a lovely, lovely friend and so patient and so generous, and we do appreciate that. And you have asked for this song several times.
King of Kings, Majesty, God in heaven, living in me, gentle Savior, closest friend, strong deliverer, beginning and end, all within me cries out in praise. Your Majesty, I can but bow. I lay my all because going before you now in the royal robes I don't deserve. I live to serve Your Majesty. Earth and heaven worship you, God eternal, faithful and true, who bought the nations, ransomed souls, brought this sinner near to your throne. All within me cries out in praise, Your Majesty. I can but bow, I lay my all before you now. In royal robes I don't deserve, I live to serve Your Majesty. I live to serve Your Majesty. There's that one, and that is also for Di Barron, whose birthday is this week. And they were only listening from about 9:05 tonight, and we just send big love out to you, Di. Bless your heart.
We do.
I want to also do a little bit of this one, which is for Valerie Ing.
Can I also just say that the other person who wanted Oceans was Margaret Borner, that we saw
Margaret
yesterday
Borner.
at
Lovely
the memorial.
Margaret, yes.
And can I also say that we also met Paul Whitaker yesterday, who is
a signer.
signer, and I had a chat with him afterwards and was saying how much I enjoyed watching his signing at the same time. And he signed for Jonathan singing You Raised Me Up, and it was stunning. And one of the songs I love people signing is King of Kings, because it's so expressive.
Rachel is pointing the arrows of the time.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, here you go, but we're going to go. Oh, love, that will not let me go. I rest my weary soul in thee. I give thee back the life I owe, that in thine ocean depths his flow may reach a full be, may reach a full be. Just the chorus. Oh, perfect love, unchanging love, oh, love that will not let me go. Oh, perfect love, unchanging love, oh, love that never lets me go. And that one is also for John and Liz up in Scotland, and many of you remember John and Liz joining the programme, and we must have them on again. And they've got COVID. They were supposed to be coming here to stay for Monday and Tuesday, and they were with their son, about to do a triathlon today, and for charity, and bang, they go down with COVID, and they've gone back home to Scotland, and they're sitting, hopefully listening. Either that or he's gone to bed, but they've both got it, and they're in until next Thursday. So they've both been double jabbed, and so hopefully they're going to, some paracetamol and some hot toddies, and you're going to be fine. We send big love out to you. They're part of our family, and a warm part of our family, and as so many of you are now, joined at the hip. Sue, a few announcements, and then we're on our...
Yes, the notice board will be up and working a bit later on. Claire, bless her, is busy working this evening, so she will get round to it as soon as she can. And that will be on the website, which is www.jvlivetech.uk. That's the place to go for all the notices, because sometimes we lose them, don't we? But they're all there. So that's really helpful to know that's where they all are. So that's great. If you want to know anything about Jonathan, whether you want to order some CDs or you want to find out about where we are for shows and so on, it's www.jonathanvera.com. We have some great shows coming up. We are going to be in Devon. We're going to be near Hastings. We're going to be in Lymington. We're going to be in Chesterfield. Jonathan and I are doing a week in a hotel in Grange-over Sands at the beginning of November, and we've got the show in Guildford, which we're organising at the end of November, and possibly a date with Stuart at St Catherine's. So we've got some lovely dates. There must be something near you to come to. I know a few of you are planning to come, and it would be lovely to meet you, lovely to say hello.
We'd love you to crowd out the church around the corner
Yes,
in
those of you
November.
who are local.
At the end of November, those of you who are reasonably local, those of you who can travel now. And it's a
So
big
there must
church.
be something somewhere near you that you could make, a journey to. So it would be lovely to see you at any of those. And just come and say hello and just tell us who you are, because of course we don't always know what you look like. You know what we look like, but we don't know what you look like. So it would be good to meet you. And yes, the shop is there. Everything is cut price at the moment, but that will be changing once we get out on the road, I think. And sue@jonathanvera.com is the email address that you need for everything. So sue@jonathanvera.com, and any questions you've got, anything you want to say, anything you want to ask, then please just write to me, sue@jonathanvera.com, and I will reply. So if you want to know what our bank account details are, whatever, if you would like to give us a gift, and we are so grateful for all your gifts, because they have made and are making a really big difference to us. The other way of doing it is paypal.me/Jonathan Vera, all one word, for those of you who feel comfortable with PayPal. And that's, but if you would rather just pay into a bank account, then it's sue@jonathanvera.com. And we will be letting you know about the crowdfunding as soon as we can. We'll put some notices out, but that will be released fairly soon, I think.
Crowdfunding will be the details of will be, and then once it's released, you can contribute at any point to that album. Just to say also that I was going to trying to sing No More Night for who was
Lynn Arney.
Lynn Arney. You've asked for every week since April last year. And it's an exhausting song to sing. It's one of the biggest songs I've sung.
You did try it earlier.
I did sing it, and it was just too much after a weekend. But I will try and sing that next week. Ruth Shelsher, King of My Heart, will do that to the backing track next week again, so you can hear the backing track from from It Is Well, the album It Is Well. And also, can I send out to Amanda and
Yes.
who I hope you're listening. Who now they live? I said they lived in the east of England. They live in Bromley, in Kent, and they're looking for a job now. This is like a community notice board. If you've got a job that might be suitable, you've seen Amanda and Tristan plays the piano so beautifully. He's done some beautiful. Amanda does poetry. They've been published. It's been lovely, and they go live and they just play some lovely music. And but they're looking for a job. They need some work, and if you have any knowledge of anybody who could help in that area in Bromley, in Kent, it needs to be reasonably local. So that she can get to it, and needs to be suitable employment. But if you have any information on that, you private message me, please, and I can get in contact with her directly. Or unless you know her, in which case contact her. And Tristan, they're looking for work. They've worked in the Salvation Army, but I think that's a place they'd love to work again. But if you could just bear them in mind, and they wanted all that matters, his life in all its mystery, the beauty and the tragedy, the silence and the symphony, and everything between. And deep inside the heart of man, the need to know and understand. Are we a part of some great plan, or just a passing dream? And he goes, my maker is my savior, my creator is also my friend, and to find him and his favor is all that matters in the end. We hope you have a better week this week. And this one, go peaceful.
Actually, I just want to dedicate this to Dorian and John Fairhurst. Dear people, this is 19 years ago that your lovely daughter died. She was only 35, I believe. So I just want to dedicate this one to you as you remember your lovely daughter that you lost 19 years ago.
That is a fabulous thing to say, thank you. They've been so loyal to this program again. Go peaceful in gentleness through the violence of these days. Give freely, show tenderness in all your ways. Here she is, Sue.
through darkness, in troubled times, let holiness be your aim. Seek wisdom, let faithfulness burn like a flame.
God speed you, God lead you, and keep you wrapped around his heart. May you be known by love.
Be righteous, speak truthfully in a world of greed and lies.
Show kindness, see everyone through heaven's eyes. God hold you, enfold you, and keep you wrapped around his heart. May you be known by love.
We hope you have a great week. Next week we won't be there. Next week will not be.
We're
But
away
the week
for a
after,
few
the
days.
26th. And we'll be in touch. To remind you that we're there for the 26th with Sue Rinaldi. And it's the launch of the crowdfunding for the album, the new one, which is the Christmas album. And then we're there singing, "The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you and give you his peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you and give you his peace and give you his peace." And I really play this for Sarah Mulholland tonight. Sandra, is it Sandra? Sorry, Sandra Mulholland, who is now bedbound and watches us on YouTube. And we send big love out to you tonight in your bed as you watch us. And I'll be speaking to you very soon. Together. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn his face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you and be gracious to you. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn his face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you and be gracious to you and be gracious to you. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you and give you his peace and give you his peace. Good night. I've got to go and take my tablets now and off to the hospital early in the morning. God bless you. Speak to you soon. Have a good week.
Have a good week. Bye.
And thanks to the tech team this week. Thank you.